Okay folks, we're getting back started on the truck today. Work on it until we gotta leave or go to a record call anyway. But you know, last video I showed that my 4-inch tubing wasn't going to work because this was a little too wide, so I'm going to actually build something 4 inches tall to put in here, and this is what I came up with. My little fender washers here. Get to where you can see them. It's really bright out here, so I don't know how this sun's going to do with this camera, but this is 1/2-inch plate. Now I know I don't need anything that thick, but that's what I'm going to use because I've got it. And these are some pieces I picked up. I probably picked up 20 of these at one time from a friend of mine, some kind of weights or something. But we'll end up splitting these, you know, drilling our holes. We'll make a top plate to go up here under the frame, and then a bottom plate with the same hole pattern. And I'm going to try to set it up where I can use short bolts. I don't want to go all the way through with the bolts, and I want to actually be able to put the bolt in with a nut. When I cut it out, I'll leave a piece out, sticking out, and then I'll connect our cross member into that. And that'll, you know, keep that good and strong where it won't twist. So first thing we'll do is go ahead and get these, probably get the plates drilled, and then you know, we'll go from there. Show you more. Okay folks, I'm getting ready to drill the holes in our plates, and as you can see, I've got them tacked together, and them tacks will be no problem to break loose, and then once we're done we'll grind, you know, clean up everything. I do this so they don't move. Easy way of doing it. And then we've got our paper. It's probably kind of hard to see the holes on it, but I think you can see a little bit of one, but the holes are on here, and I'll lay it out and center punch it. And what I'm going to do, I'm probably just going to leave these long. It's not a big deal, but put this on here, and then with this extra lip sticking out, this is where I'm going to connect the cross member in, and that way I can get it away from these bolts. Okay, we've got an opening here in the center where there's no bolts, so we'll probably put a piece of 3-inch tubing, square tubing between the two of them, and then run 2 gussets out the end, and that'll be strong enough to hold it up, and then we'll still be able to get to all our bolts. And if I use long bolts, you know, you've got the problem of keeping them tight, and also you know, you don't want to shear them off, and you know, a loose bolts can be sheared really easy, so we're going to use short bolts in it, and we'll put lock washers and everything on them. But these wasn't cut out perfect. If you can probably see, there's a lip on this one where it come up and stopped, and they come out and cut, so this one's sticking out a little bit farther. But I thought they was plasma cut, and I figured they'd be pretty equal, but you know, they're not exact, but you know, that don't matter. What matters is we get our holes in the right place, and then get it all lined up right before we weld it together. And you know, like I said, 1/2 inch is a little thick for this, but what we're doing, but you know, I'd rather go too heavy than not heavy enough. Okay folks, we've got the 9/16 bit in, and all I did was just make a small pilot. I didn't go very deep at all. Just wanted something to center that bit. We're going to turn this real slow and on power feed. You know, we got 2 inches to go through. This is a very sharp bit. A lot of angle to it, so it will grab. So I've got it mounted down good, and we're going to see if we can get one drilled here real quick. Okay folks, we've got one of the holes done. I'm going to do the other ones. I'm not going to bore you with it, but you can see how I prefer to do it. I just put small pilot holes and didn't go down maybe 1/8 of an inch with them, and then I ran the 9/16 all the way through, and that bit is just as cold as can be. And I drilled it just as fast as you'd have drilled it if you'd have drilled, you know, a small pilot all the way through and then another bit or another hole. But the advantage I find of this, turning really slow and putting a lot of pressure on it, because you know this is power feed, so it was feeding itself, but it feeds even, so you don't get any catching and grabbing and, you know, stuff like that. But as you can see, there was no smoke made whatsoever, and anybody that does machine work or anything, you know, is around anything that's mechanical knows that heat is what causes problems. And you know, there was absolutely no heat made there. The chips come out just as, you know, shiny as can be, and makes your drill bit last a lot longer. Plus it does a single hole. I mean, I didn't have to do it twice. The machine done all the work, and no chances of me getting my wrist tore off or my hands tore off from a flying piece, you know, spinning around. So, but that's how I like to do the holes, and we'll go ahead and get the other 4 done, and you know, we'll let the machine do all the work for us, and I can speed the power feed up a little bit. But if you notice the drill bit, the way that it was bringing chips on both sides of the bit, you know, that's the way a bit's supposed to do. Okay folks, we've got all our holes drilled out, and just gonna go ahead and take the paper off. That oil, I guess that oil got my glue, but it stayed on long enough to get the holes drilled. We're going to get these knocked apart, and then we'll get some metal lined up to go in between it. Show you more. I wanted to show you this. The buddy of mine that I hauled the machine for the other day come by today and brought me some more stuff that he said he had extra that he didn't think he would need. So look, there's 2 1-inch plates and 1 3/4 inch plate there. They're about 2 foot long and 6 inches wide. A bunch of other odds and ends scrap, and I need some 3-inch to go between our pieces that we're making for our wrecker, and that's what I come down here for. Looks like there's some of this stuff here is different kinds of plastic, and there's a little bit of stainless here. Bunch of stuff, bunch of goodies. 1/4 inch plate, some brass. So this is part of the payment that I didn't know I was getting for hauling the machines. But some nice steel round stock, looks like about 2-inch diameter, maybe a little bit bigger. And then we're about 3 foot long, I think, or 2.5 foot long. But just wanted to show you that. I'm gonna go through here and see if I can find some stuff for our piece that we're making, and or pieces that we're making, and we'll see what we can get done. Alright folks, you can probably hear it's raining outside real bad, and I've got a tin roof on the shop, so that's why you can hear it. But here's what I was talking about. I've got a piece of 3x3 square tubing in the middle, cut it 3 inches, cut me 2 1/2-inch gussets. This one's 3 inches tall, a little under 2 inches wide, and then this one's a little less than 4 inches long, 3 inches tall. And that's what I'll do, is weld this all together. But what I'm going to use these bolts, and I'll use a 90 on here to be able to, rain's picking up, to be able to get them straight. I mean, I can probably I could use this here, but I'll get the bolt straight, and then I'll weld it up. But like I said, it's raining real bad, so I can't put them on today, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get them finished up today. And then I may work on steam engine a little bit after that. I need to get another video up on it, so show you more. Okay folks, we've got her all tacked together here, and the reason that I went ahead and tacked the whole thing together is, if I just tacked, like, let's just say I put these on and tacked them and then I started welding on them, you know, I'm afraid they'll pull too far, because I plan on putting some heat to it. So we've got 1/2 inch Here we've got a 1/4 inch, 3-inch square tubing here, and then we've got another piece of half back here as a gusset. And I'll get her all welded up here and show you what it's going to look like. Okay folks, I've got one of them welded up here, and let's see what it looks like. Get the other one done here shortly. We'll go ahead and stick this one on, just see what it looks like on there. But this is what I was meaning about short bolts. I want to use short bolts here to the spring, and then short bolts from here to the frame. I didn't want to run a long bolt all the way through, and you know, it just seems like it'd be harder to keep it tight, and you know, there'd be more play in it. So that's why I wanted to make sure there was room to get to all the bolts, and that should hold up just fine. And we'll see what it looks like real quick. Okay folks, we've got it stuck up on there. You'll see I don't have all the rivets out of the frame yet, so it's just sitting up there, but I didn't want to raise it up and get them stuck on there. But there it is. And what we'll do is, I've got a 4x4 1/4 inch wall tubing that will actually come off of this side and go over to the other side for an extra cross member. So that's what this will be when it's done. But she's there, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And I know some people say, well, it's overbuilt, but I'll tell you from experience, you can't overbuild a wrecker. Not when you do some of the things that I do with them. So I think that'll work out just fine. And like I said, we'll get the other one finished up, get the cross membered on there, and I think it'll be good to go. So till next time, appreciate you watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, and bye.